Hey everyone, this is Global Fashion Workshop and I remind you that we post new videos every day. Recently we have a review of a gorgeous blouse with many tailors' secrets. Today we have a similar review of the blouse. And there also will be many tailors' secrets. Of course, technology has changed a lot since my youth. Then we couldn't even imagine that we will be sewing in the new time. Now new fabrics, new technologies. There are technologies that have taken root, there are technologies that are born in the process in everything. First I will show you blouse on the mannequin, and then I will show it on the table, like all the reviews. On the mannequin shortly. It was a canvas. Here is more golden, passing into organza and again passing. One seam in the center of the back, instead of a side seam undercut. It is delicate and elegant, which is even difficult to see. And since there was not enough fabric, I had to buy an organza for a scarf. This is how it looks. These pieces are native to a blouse, and a double scarf is an additionally purchased organza, and also sleeves. From these details to the elastic, this is an additional organza, although it is very similar to the native organza. Here, 2.5 centimeters on each side is folded. And look at how much it made the volume of the sleeves. And one more pinch, one oncoming fold made a shape. Why does it slide like this? It is in the place where the hard drawing begins. And here is the organza. And it gave the shape to the sleeve. Sleeve extended wide to the bottom. Of course, I will show you the sewing on the table. A scarf is stitched on the neck of thin seam, from the shoulder seam to the shoulder seam. The front butt is on the edge. How it is made from the inside I will show. The stitching is sewn from the shoulder seam to the center with the seam. This is the perfect seam. The armhole is edged as always. There is still a lot to talk about. When we see such material and we do not know what can be sewn from it, we can see a lot of cells and golds here. You need to include your imagination here and think about which fabrics you can combine with organza. See how great it goes with organza. I also want to show how the bottom is made. On the bottom we can see the sharpening. It was possible to thread a Moscow seam, but we want to make it luxurious. Therefore, there is such a wide edging. The lining is made of smooth organza without gold. Here's the Moscow seam was made, and then stitched. Moscow turned out very thin, and if it were hemmed with gold, imagine how beautiful it would be. And now you cannot even combine fabrics, but buy a plain organza. Now I will take it off from the mannequin and show you on the table. It is really very beautiful. So let's start with the bow. Here, where we have shoulder seams, notches are made, and this part is made by a seam. Both sides of the scarf and the blouse itself are connected by a very thin seam. Not a single thread hangs inside. From here, each side is finished with a Moscow seam to the end. Further, in the place where the additional organza ends and the tissue itself begins, we have a seam, made perfectly. The bottom is also a Moscow seam. I cannot make any complaints about the scarf. Everything is done perfectly. So now I want to move from this part of the neck to the neck. So now I will twist everything and show you. From the shoulder seam to the groove, which is perceived neckline and incision. The H is perceived by the Moscow seam. Sewn in an inverted seam. First, it was necessary to sew it on the wrong side, and then unscrew it to make a sewn seam. This is done so that the threads do not hang out. Just imagine how you need to think over the technology so as not to get into a situation where something is wrong. Next, here we have a seam. The adhesive material is thinly glued inside. Very beautifully done. Here is the Moscow seam with a Moscow one. On both sides, these seams, and there was crimpling nearby. And the seam seems to be gone. Therefore, it turns out so beautiful. It is edged with the seam. Thanks to it, there will never be a single thread hanging. Very thin elastic. The bottom is made by the Moscow seam. The bottom hem is made of solid organza, so that no additional pattern is displayed. This is a hem, also with the Moscow seam. Everything was perceived and sewn up later in this Moscow seam. And here is the silk seam. I have no words. My girls made a gorgeous thing. I am sharing with you, and it made myself in shock. When people ask me, how much does it cost? I suggest people try to do something similar themselves, and then decide the price. Naturally in shock, but in good shock. I hope you too. Shock is also different. I shared this work with pleasure, because such works is not so often seen. We sometimes have similar orders. So last but not least, let's talk about why such smooth scarf is good. You can tie it with a bow. You can lower the ends back. You can throw one side on your back. There are a lot of options, and you can use different every day. I hope our customer will figure out how to deal with this beauty. Be different and beautiful. Subscribe to this channel, write comments, share the videos, press the like and bell buttons. We would really appreciate your support. Thank you. Goodbye.